Good evening, almost. Good afternoon, Wednesday, March 18th, 2026 here in House Transportation. We have 10 members in House and one on dialed in. We are at the end of a culmination of 13, 14 weeks, 2.5 months of work on the T-bill. And we are at a spot where we believe it's all come together, both on the finance side and on the language and the law. So everybody should have received a copy in the email. They also have copies on your desk for those that asked for it. We have the editors are back momentarily with that final piece. What I'd like to do now is, if we have a motion, is we have our clerk, Lieutenant Tomlinson, is nearly ready to go. I would like to.
I move that we, sure, yes, that's pressure, I'll screw it up, so one shot will shine. I move that we approve, draft 4.1 of the, transportations.
Legislative Council's got a comment. Oops.
Just wanted to add one minor change that is that the allocation of fiscal year 2027 MBUF revenues to town highway.
Yeah.
The effective date on that was made January 1, 27. So it's consistent with the other mileage-based user fee. That wasn't in the draft you reviewed.
Okay.
That's the only correction to note.
So should I reference 4.2?
Nope, it's 4.1 and
Okay.
I'll send a clean copy to the committee to post.
Okay.
But that was just cleaned up in the editing process. So otherwise, you're good. I just wanted to make sure you know everything you're voting on.
Comments before we vote?
I have a question just in looking at the final bill. That on page 5 and page 7, there are virtually identical sections regarding during an emergency event. I just want to make sure that that was intentional.
That is intentional. The first of those relates to bonding for compliance with the terms of a contract. The second relates to bonding for compliance with tax and unemployment insurance obligations.
I just have one clarifying question too for Damien. I think on page 30, at the end of the MBUF, there's a page and a half of powers of the commissioner.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember us reviewing this. Is this just sort of boilerplate that gets put in
Yeah.
for running a program like MBUF?
This is we did review this on our first time through the MBUF draft. These are somewhat boilerplate powers that were taken from the taxing authority. In revising them, there was one power that we took out because it didn't apply to the MBUF, but the other ones we've left because they all apply. I mean, their authority to adopt rules, prescribe forms, contract with the account manager, enter into agreements with other states for reciprocal enforcement, and then the hold hearings and compel attendance of witnesses, and then the examination under oath, and then using a judge to enforce subpoena. So if someone is appealing, but they won't share their documents, the commissioner has authority under the sections we referenced in 105 to 107 to use subpoena, and this just calls it out again, same as we did in the taxes. So they're based on boilerplate that's used in all of the tax sections, with the tax specific provisions taken out.
Okay. Thank you.
Others? Question? Representative Wells can still hear us?
I am.
So I guess we'll ask the clerk to call the vote.
Okay, Rep. Burke? Yes. Rep. Casey?
Yes.
Rep. Corcoran?
Yes.
Rep. Keiser?
Yes.
Rep. Lally?
Yes.
Rep. McCoy?
Yes.
Rep. Couch?
Yes.
Rep. Tomlinson, yes. Rep. Wells?
I certify I am Kenneth Lance Wells, Orleans County District 3. I vote yes. Amen.
Right. Rep. White? Yes. Rep. Walker?
Yes.
Okay, it's 11-0-0.
Okay. I'd like to thank all the members of the committee for their work on the bill. I'd like to thank our legislative council. I'd like to thank our JFO help. I'd like to thank, and she's listening, our committee assistant who wasn't here on our big day. I'm disappointed about that. I appreciate that. To the agency and all of the witnesses, the agency and all of the members of the agency that have participated, as well as all of the witnesses that have joined through. I also felt the need to kind of sober the moment in that this agency and this budget has gone through some pretty substantial difficulties from last fall through the first of this year. And I think it was important that the committee recognized the kind of financial situation of the T fund and the entire infrastructure that we have is still a significant issue, and that there are many people that have brought lives have been substantially disrupted because of the situation of the T fund and our project. So I appreciate everybody having kept that in mind all the way through. I also very much appreciate that we universally agree on finding every way possible to support our towns and municipalities and their highway budgets and the issues they face with their own roads and bridges. And solving the T fund does not solve the problem for the highways. And I appreciate everybody that is a very much a nonpartisan issue. And I appreciate the work that was done there. In the T-bill, I appreciate everybody's efforts, particularly call out the work to support the public transit and Green Mountain Transit Authority. Hopefully a large economic opportunity up in the Northeast Kingdom will be able to move forward before the next time we get to a T-bill. I don't want to leave anything out, but we don't want to carry on for too long. Also, the partners that were impacted on a number of pieces in the bill from the RPCs took a significant testimony there, leagues of cities and towns that help all of those communities. So I appreciate all of the work. I appreciate very much the 11-0 vote. I appreciate your hard advocacy for the areas that you were of particular interest for. We didn't get everything that we wanted. Nobody got everything they wanted. What I've really learned over the time that I've been on the committee is incremental change is how the most work actually gets done. And I appreciate everybody's support on that. Thank you very much for the 11-0 vote. We will be back in committee tomorrow morning, and we will talk about 9:30, and we will talk about presentations and sections and where the T-bill goes from here. If there's anything to add,
9:30.
let's go with 9:30 tomorrow. It's right, tomorrow's
Most wonderful.
Thursday. We'll go with 9:30 tomorrow, and we'll pick up from where we